The car from Carvana's here. Well, will you look at that? It's exactly what I ordered. Like, precisely. It would be crazy if there were any catches. But there aren't, right?
Right. Because that's how car buying should be. With Carvana, you get the car you want. Choose delivery or pickup, and a week to love it or return it.
Buy your car today with
Carvana.
Delivery or pickup fees may apply. Limitations and exclusions may apply. See our 7-day return policy at Carvana.com.
Did I talk too much?
Should have handled
Why can't
that
I just
better?
let it go?
I wish I would stop.
Overthinking so much.
Did I talk too much? I wish I would stop. Overthinking so much.
Take a breath. You're not alone. Let's talk about what's going on.
Counseling helps you sort through the noise with qualified professionals, and online therapy makes it convenient. See if it's for you. Visit BetterHelp.com/randompodcast for 10% off your first month of online therapy and let life feel better.
The kettle's boiled, Vic.
Great. Perfect timing. Just a dash of milk for me, please, mate.
Here you go. Shall we get started then?
Have you ever woken up on a Sunday morning and said, I'm never drinking again, and then found yourself waving $50 at a barman by happy hour?
Are you wondering why everyone else can stop at 1 while you head to a dodgy after-party with a weird bloke called Disco Dave? If so, it might be time to take a deeper look at your relationship with your reliable social crutch, alcohol.
On each episode, we'll investigate our own dysfunctional dealings with booze and find out if it's possible to stop this deeply ingrained habit before things get too messy.
Yep, we're going to open up a shame shed of humiliating drinking stories to help you understand why waking up from a booze coma each weekend with a kebab sticking out of your top pocket might actually be negatively impacting your health.
Hamish and I are here to delve into what it's like being sober, an unwanted warts and all look into why giving up those cheeky pints or putting down those mummy wines will make you feel happier, help your anxiety and mental health, and turn you into the most sparkly, authentic version of you.
Won't that mean I become boring though, Vic?
Well, Hamish, we'll just have to wait and see. I'm Victoria Vanstone.
I'm Hamish Adams-Cairns.
And this is Sober Awkward.
Vic, you just celebrated John's birthday, haven't you?
Yes, we were down in Sydney for it. It was really nice. Actually, I didn't shit the bed on his birthday this year, which was nice.
A little bit confused by that. You're staying in my bed, so I should be even more concerned about that. Why do you usually shit the bed on his birthday? Is that a tradition?
First of all, people might be confused that I was sleeping in your bed on my husband's birthday.
That's a tradition of ours. And it should, no questions. Thank you.
Shh, don't tell everybody that, Hamish. That's our little tradition that no one else knows about.
John's request.
Hamish and I did do a house swap over the holidays, and I did sleep in your bed. Yes, it is true. There's a little tradition as well, Hamish, where I shit the bed on my husband's birthday. It's just a thing that I do. I've done twice.
Twice? Recently, or?
No, twice over the last 15 years. Yes, on his birthday.
Okay.
Once I had diarrhea and followed through, and the second time I had constipation, and it was very early on in our relationship, and he'd gone out of the room, and I sort of let one go and followed through again. And he came in the room and he was like, "Are you all right? Why are you laughing?" And I was like, "Oh, actually, I've just shit the bed." And he was like, "What, you shit the bed on my birthday?" I was like, yeah. But the funny thing about this story is that John's parents had come to visit us for the first time ever. And they were in the house, and it was in the middle of the night. And in the morning, I went in to have a shower after the night before, having shoved everything in the washing machine. And I was in the shower, and John's mum knocked on the door and said, Vic, are you all right in there? I was just wondering, what do you want me to do with these sheets? They're all gritty. I've been sat in the lounge picking the grit off them for about half an hour.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so...
what did you say?
So I didn't say anything. I said, "Oh, thank you very much for doing that. Yes, there's something wrong with the water system." But really, she'd been picking little bits of poo off the sheets, and I've never told her.
Wow. How have I known you for this long, and I've never known that you've shit the bed twice on John's birthday? Have you shit the bed any other times during your relationship with John? Or
just on his birthday. It's just a special thing, that special gift.
And were both times, were they both your bed? So,
yes.
Okay, that's relief.
But the reason I haven't told that on the podcast is I thought she might listen, but no, I don't think she does. So I think we're okay now. So I can let loose on a few stories. But yeah, the poor love doesn't know really what she was doing. She thought it was something out of the cistern.
Jesus.
It was actually something out of my cistern.
I'm not really sure
that's a
what
bonus.
to say.
Well, all we need to do is we had a lovely birthday. We celebrated John's birthday without toiletry habits going wrong. So that's a good. There were no tears and no passive aggressive arguments about who forgot the cake. Just a calm night, a nice dinner. We went to the theatre, Haim. We went to see Book of Mormon, which was absolutely amazing. Highly recommend. And actually, I remembered the whole thing in the morning. Honestly, Haim, nowadays, it's wild how not drinking lets you actually enjoy your own life. Who knew? Not me, that's for sure.
All of that poopy banter brings me on to today's topic, which is, of course, making up for lost time. One of the reasons that people go back to alcohol is shame. That gut punch feeling of realising how much time we've all wasted being drunk, hungover, or just planning the next session. Shame over all of those years blurred by booze, nights forgotten, opportunities skipped, mornings spent cursing yourself into the abyss. You look back and think, what if I had used all of those wasted hours doing something meaningful? Like a side hustle, a passion project, or just being more present for my kids.
You start to look back and think, if I'd just skipped a few of those after-work sessions with Dave the pill dealer and mad dog Marky Mark, maybe I'd have written a novel or learned Italian or at least got through a weekend without crying in a kebab shop.
The truth is, alcohol steals time. It drains motivation, dulls ambition, and replaces growth with Groundhog Day. For me, that realization was both brutal and one of the best gifts of my sobriety. But this is not an episode about regret. It's about flipping the script, because sobriety isn't about what you missed. It's about what you can gain. We've got time now. It's just about learning how to use it going forward.
Yes, gosh. Alcohol certainly does steal time, Haim. Motivation, clarity and presence. It doesn't just harm your body, it quietly robs your life. But what if sobriety gave us a second chance? What if it's not about repairing the past, but building the future? Okay, so here's a sentimental opener, Haim. What did you want to be when you were a kid?
I obviously wanted to play football alongside David Beckham for Man U. That was my dream for as early as I can remember. Sadly, I never really had the talent or, to be fair, the dedication once I hit my teenage years, when at that age, fitting in and being cool and chatting to girls becomes more important than playing football for Man United with David Beckham, sadly. So that was really the only dream that I had as a kid that I could remember. But talking of dedication and football, and this does relate to sobriety, you'll get there in a second, I did want to reiterate a point that I made, I think it was during our first ever Sober Awkward episode together, which is that I was so passionate about playing football for Man U that I was like, if I just made it, I would be so professional. I would be the first person at training. I'd be the last one to leave. I'd do all the extras. I'd make all the sacrifices. I would just be incredibly dedicated to this career. And then you don't become a footballer for Manchester United. And what I found is that your expectations of yourself go much, much lower in whatever career you go on to. I'm not the first to get there or the last to leave, and I'm not doing the extras. I just sort of cruise along. And then when I got to parenting, I was like, well, that is certainly a career, if you could call it a career, that I really want to excel in. And if going sober improves my ability to parent or support my wife through parenting, even by 1%, then I'm willing to do it. So that I thought was kind of like an important thing to remind myself of within my sobriety, about dedication, about how it can help you become a parent or help you in your career or things far beyond that.
So when you look back at this, because this episode is about making up for lost time, do you feel there's a sense of regret in relation to your football career that you didn't put enough work in?
Not really. I just wasn't good enough, really. I didn't have the talent. So I don't think that I could have become a Man U footballer in another life.
Okay. Yeah.
But I guess what I do regret is choosing cool over being dedicated to more important things, particularly at uni. I guess at school I sort of tried pretty hard at things, and I was good at sport and I was fairly good at academics, but uni I just cruised where I could have, you've got so much time on your hands at uni and I could have spent it better. So I guess I do have regrets about my early 20s, but not really about my 7 to 15-year-old age.
Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah, so you don't really know at that age what you want. So therefore, you're just trying things until you find something that you're really good at, hopefully. And unfortunately, the thing that I found that I was really good at was drinking. So It's a shame it wasn't something that was creative or interesting, or that could have given me a career. All it did was give me a bloody headache and some bruised bodily parts.
What is it that you wanted to do growing up?
I wanted to be a radio host very early on, but I was always told I wouldn't make money at any of those sort of creative jobs. I was really arty-farty at school, and my parents said you'd be really good in sales. They wanted me always to go in sales. Come on, Vicky, you'll be good at sales. So I sort of felt like I had to go into sales, which I just wasn't interested in at all. I wanted actually to go into advertising like my sister had. I did work experience at her London agency, and they had a lady who used to come in at lunchtime with glasses of champagne. So I was like, oh yeah, this is the job for me.
Yeah,
this looks perfect. Yeah. It was the most boozy, coke infested work environment I've ever experienced. I was like, oh my God, I'd fit in well here. I think basically I had a lot of hopes and dreams, ideas and choices until I was about 14. Then I stole booze from my parents' garage and learned that just necking that was easier than considering a proper career. Suddenly my dreams were sidelined by bar tabs and happy hours. I often wonder, had I not been drunk so much, what could I have done with that time? I mean, there was a lot of it. Let's talk 25 years of binge drinking. Let's say I was hungover 3 times a week, thinking about drinking 3 times a week. I do feel like there is so much wasted time in my past, time where I could have seen the world. I could have travelled and seen stuff, not like I did on my world trips. Like I just saw either the inside of a toilet or a bar. There wasn't anything for me to learn or grow from.
Interesting. Okay, well, for you, becoming a pisshead at 14 and doing it for 20 years ended up with you having a career as an author and a sobriety podcast.
Yeah.
Do you think if you'd never drunk, you still would have found your way to podcasting and writing, even if it wasn't totally about sobriety?
That's a really good question, Haim. Well, I wouldn't have had anything to write about because both of my books are based on really my journey to sobriety and motherhood.
But it would have been some other, life experience that you'd have had between those ages.
No, I'm going to say I don't think any of that would have happened because I would have been still hungover. I had absolutely no motivation when I was a boozer. Like I couldn't even get out of bed.
Yeah, but if you'd never drunk, what do you think you'd have gone on to do as a career?
Oh, it's impossible to say. I would like to say that I would have made good choices and I could have done whatever I wanted, but it's impossible. It's impossible for me to even think about because I never ever had that choice. It was never a possibility. It never comes up for me because what's the point in thinking about that? I'm sure I could have done a lot of things, but I certainly don't think I would be here now. I would have loved to have been a vet or an ambulance driver or something that took loads and loads of years at university, but I couldn't imagine those things. It just wasn't on the radar. So actually, I never even had many hopes after the age of 14. I just got on with the drinking and thought, well, this is what makes me who I am and that's enough.
So basically what we're saying very clearly here is that sobriety gives you the time, the clarity and the heart for you to achieve whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, all those days spent in bed, it does seem so pointless now. I think sobriety actually gave me back time. It gave me clarity. And I love what you said about the heart to finally do things. I think when I was drinking, I was always busy, but rarely productive. I know that will resonate with a few people out there. My mind
still
was
like that.
Yeah, I'm still a bit like that too, actually. My mind was very foggy. My body was very tired and everything felt like it had to be done in a sort of survival mode, like filled with anxiety. I think sobriety kind of flips that. Suddenly the hours in my day belonged to me again. My brain wasn't rented out to hangovers and guilt. I think also you start giving stuff a go that you never thought was possible when you go sober. It's not that sobriety gave me talent or luck. Like I've always had these things within me. It just kind of cleared the stage so I could finally perform, Hamish. How's this changed for you, time and ability wise? I know you don't have time because you've got a little beautiful baby daughter at the moment.
Well, it's difficult to say because my sobriety coincided with me becoming a dad. So I was immediately time poor as hell anyway. But with that being said, I think I've been able to be more productive with prioritization. Like I put my family time above anything else. I'm not spending a single minute thinking about booze, drinking booze, recovering from booze. So, every minute that I've got, I guess I'm spending wisely. I have actually been surprised, weirdly, despite now, being a dad of 2, I have been surprised by the fact that I do still have time in my day. I mean, there are pockets of time that you never thought were available until you're sober, and you got, I feel pretty good quite a lot of the time.
There's this sense of loss of the past, isn't there, which gives me a real kind of icky feeling in my tummy, like, what the hell would I have done for those 25 years? What would I have achieved? Like, I know we're all achieving stuff now and it's all great and sobriety is wonderful and everything, but I certainly do have a sense of loss. Maybe I could have run marathons. Maybe I could have changed something or helped someone or done something more and left my mark rather than just leaving kind of a vomit stain on the carpet. Do you know what I mean? What could I have done with that time? And we talk a lot about careers and, what we imagine for ourselves, but it doesn't make any difference what happened in those years. What matters is that time is gone. And that can feel very, very overwhelming for people in sobriety and those that are still drinking as well. It's like, it's time we can't get back, but how can we make up for it now? Like, are there ways we're going to kind of forget those years as our past and go, right, that was done. That was probably a mistake. I didn't live my life to the fullest. There was no motivation there. So what do I do now? And this is this pinnacle that we're going to talk a bit about today. Is like, can we wipe the past and just move on?
I tell you what I do see through our cuppa members, and I hope that people listening will nod along to this, is that sobriety certainly helps with the mindset of like, I'll get to that one day. I'll give up sugar one day. I'll run a half marathon one day. Like, I'll give up caffeine. And lots of people talking about caffeine on Cuppa this week. I'll give up caffeine one day. And I feel like as soon as you get sober and you like overcome this enormous challenge that lots of people try and fail to do forever, and you have more time on your hands and you have more self-belief, they're like, wow, I gave up something really difficult. I think you stop putting off things like, I'll give up sugar one day, or whatever the equivalent is for you. People are like, I've knocked over this domino. I'm just going to take on another one. Why not? And I think that then it's self-perpetuating and people feel more confident and more like a superhuman and build that confidence from there. So there's certainly saving time in that way, I think, through sobriety. Part of me wants to know the total number of hours or days spent wasted in bed. Part of me maybe doesn't want to know. I don't know. How much of my life have I spent in bed with a hangover, or on my knees in a bathroom throwing up into a loo, or just standing at a bar ordering drinks I don't really want? What is what is that number,
Well, I think it's probably going to be quite depressing, Hamish. Let's have a talk about real numbers and science for a moment, because feelings are valid, but facts give the fire fuel. So, Ham, what if I was a very, what we call normal drinker? Let's say 2 glasses of wine a night for 25 years.
Okay, so here's the terrifying thing. If you drink 2 glasses of wine a day for 25 years, which, let's face it, doesn't really sound like too much, sounds pretty harmless, you would have spent nearly a full year of your life either drinking or recovering from it. That's a whole year of standing in kitchens, topping up glasses, talking crap, and waking up feeling rubbish. A year of half-assed mornings, lost ideas, and staring into the fridge wondering why your head feels like a cement mixer. Imagine what you could do with that time instead. You could learn French, you could run a marathon, or just have one long, uninterrupted nap for a year. It's a bit extreme. We shouldn't recommend a year-long nap.
No, we do not recommend a year
to do. Don't sleep for a year, you lunatic.
Yeah, you got to get up. You got to pay your mortgage, mate. Get out of bed.
We think wine gives us time off, but it's quietly stealing it right from under our noses, one lovely stemmed glass at a time.
If you're properly hungover 2 days a week for 25 years, that's actually 2,600 hungover days. Wow, that's a lot, isn't it? Over 7 full years of your life spent feeling like a mouldy sandwich. 7 years of lying in dark rooms Googling, am I dying or just dehydrated? Shushing your kids, eating beige food and swearing you'll never drink again. I mean, that sums me up very well. 7 years of life paused. No creativity, no energy, no joy. I think the only joy I thought was in the bottom of a glass. I was just existing in a fog of regret and a dry mouth. That's how it felt. My life paused. Really, that is so true. And that's what I feel a little bit guilty about it. And I feel a bit silly, Haim. I feel silly that I did this for so many years and thought that it was okay. So not only have I got regret about the lost time, I feel slightly stupid that I was conned by booze into thinking that that was the right thing for me to be doing. So the whole thing, you can feel it. It adds up to a lot of nasty feelings going around in my body. What could I have done? What could I have been? It's annoying.
What do you think you Googled the most on a hangover?
Am I an alcoholic?
Did you? Yeah. Okay. So,
Yeah.
Okay, that shows that how different you and I were. Mine was more like, what are the best hangover cures? Is there a pill that does this? I can remember fantasizing about my friend of mine who's a GP who, like, they would just turn up to the hospital and get an IV drip and then they'd be fine. If I was still drinking now, I would have trained ChatGPT to be a doctor and be like, okay, here are my symptoms on this hangover. What do I need to eat, drink, do? Give me the greatest doctor's opinion on curing hangovers for sure.
I hope the answer from ChatGPT would just be the cure to a hangover is sobriety. That's all ChatGPT needs to say, because that is the only cure. We spoke to William Porter. The booze has to be filtered through your body. That is the hangover. And there's absolutely no way you can get rid of it, no matter a pill, dehydration, going for a dip in a pool or a swim in the ocean. The alcohol still has to make its way through your body, and you just can't get rid of that feeling, no matter whether you have a drip or whatever. You are still going to be hungover. And also those sort of like cures only probably give a little bit of difference if somebody hasn't downed the whole bar. If you're someone like me who went out binge drinking, there is no way you can avoid a hangover.
Yeah, such a waste of time. So when you add that to the year you spent actually drinking, that's 8 years gone to booze. 8 years. You could do a medical degree in that time. You could travel the world. You could literally raise a child from birth to primary school. Instead, we've been stuck in the spin cycle of hair of the dog and never again. Oh, and just to add, alcohol also shortens a healthy life. People with heavy consumption or binge drinking lose between 3 and 6 years of healthy life expectancy compared to lower risk drinkers. So not only do you lose time whilst you're drinking, but you also make your life quite a bit shorter as well. Sobering that, isn't it?
Yes, and slightly depressing. I love the quote, either you run the day or the day runs you. It's by someone called Jim Rohn. Alcohol ran my days back then. Sobriety gives you the strength to take it back and run your days yourself.
So let's face it, we know, because we've both experienced this, the shame will come. It's unavoidable, but here's the way to reframe it. Shame knows you have something better inside you. It's the past trying to pull you back, but you get to choose a new path.
Sobriety isn't about punishing yourself for making your mistakes. It's about using your clarity and time to build what you really want. It's about choosing presence, integrity, the freedom to say yes to things that matter, not passing out in a heap. I think that was the other thing, Hamish, that alcohol did to me, was that I didn't know myself. So therefore I couldn't push myself because I didn't know what I enjoyed. Like if there was a job advertised that I was interested in, I just thought, well, I can't do that because I don't know myself and trust myself or even have the confidence to give that a go because I'll probably get drunk. I'll probably get hungover and not turn up for work a couple of times. And then I would go through this mental process of me being sacked before I'd even apply for a job because I knew I couldn't sustain anything because I would get drunk and I'd be hungover and then I'd be pulling a sickie. And I pulled a hell of a lot of sickies, especially in my time in Brighton when I worked for that Millennium Bug Company. I used to phone up like nearly every other day. I worked in the post shop and I'd have to put on that silly hungover voice like, oh, I'm so ill. I've got food poisoning. And, you know, of course they didn't believe me. But that confidence that I didn't have has now returned. So if I apply for a job, I know in my head that I can do it. So there's an element of not only losing time, but also gaining back some of the stuff that I lost within myself, some of my capabilities almost.
It is uncanny how many people write to us saying their careers take off once they get sober. It probably is related to that. You know, when you're drinking heavily, you have low self-worth because no one wants to be a binge drinking or alcoholic person hungover eating chips all day.
No.
And I heard a quote recently, I wonder if it's tied to this, which is that we often...
Did I talk too much?
Should have handled that
I just
better.
let it go?
I wish I would stop.
I was
Overthinking
thinking so much.
Thinking so much.
Did I talk too much? I wish I would stop. Overthinking so much.
Take a breath. You're not alone. Let's talk about what's going on.
Counseling helps you sort through the noise with qualified professionals, and online therapy makes it convenient. See if it's for you. Visit betterhelp.com/randompodcast for 10% off your first month of online therapy and let life feel better.
Hi, it's Sarah Gibson Tuttle, the founder of Olive and June. Can I tell you the one thing that always makes my day better? A fresh manicure. But here's the thing, who has the time or budget to go to the nail salon every week? That's why we created the Olive and June Gel Mani System. It gives you that same glossy, long-lasting mani you get at a salon for so much less. It comes with everything you need, a pro-level LED lamp, salon-grade tools, our damage-free gel polish that lasts up to 21 days. Just prep, paint, cure, and you're good to go. And the best part, it's so easy and super affordable. So skip that $80 salon appointment. Get that salon quality look at home on your schedule. Head to oliveandjune.com/DIYGel20 and use code DIYGel20 for 20% off your first gel mani system. That's oliveandjune.com/DIYGel20. Code DIYGel20 for 20% off your first gel mani system.
Overestimate how talented and fantastic other people are, say in a job that you're going to apply for, and we underestimate how talented or brilliant we are, which is why we don't take the leap and apply for that job or go for that promotion or try that career you always wanted to try, and we settle for safe. And I wonder if it's, to do with that. People get sober, they're like, my self-worth comes back, and I'm like, fuck it, why not apply for that job, or why not try that new career? Why not write a book like you did? So I wonder if those two things are connected.
Yeah, certainly. And I used to sit back and watch my mates achieving. They're all handing in their assignments on time, and they were just going to uni when I should have been. Like, I don't think I ever went once, Hamish. I only literally went to one lecture the whole time I was there because I was just too hungover and too pissed. I just couldn't. I couldn't do the work that it took to make me successful. And it's just probably why I avoided getting any sort of normal job for my entire life, because it just wasn't there. The confidence to even search for something that I thought I might enjoy, I always stood back from it because I knew that I was not a person that could stick to something because of drinking.
That's right. Sober people often report transformative life changes after giving up alcohol. New careers, healthy relationships, deeper creativity, more travel, and more laughter. It's as though you sort of wake up from this hypnosis of booze.
I think that's such a good description. In the first year of sobriety, many people shift trajectories, new jobs, education, or creative projects, which exactly is what this is. I've seen it with the listeners, with guests on this show, with us behind the mic. The clarity you get when your brain is not clogged by toxins is actually really powerful.
Can I add a cheesy quote here, Vic?
Yes, of course you can, Hamish.
Don't let shame steer you. Let it be the reminder, not the ruler. I don't know who said that, but it sounds good, doesn't it?
I said it.
Okay, that's Victoria Vanstone.
Yeah, let's
my favourite of the quote masters.
Yeah, I'm going to start stealing other people's quotes. I think that's a good idea. I'm going to say that they were all me. Okay,
you're implying that you've never done that before, whereas I see straight through that.
Yeah, I have done it loads of times.
You know what? I'm going to start stealing avocados from the supermarket. Okay, we both know that's been going on for some time.
It has, yeah. If someone handed you back those lost years, what would you fill them with?
Okay, I think the simplest way to put it would be to say that I would have reached where I am today much sooner. And what I mean by that is I would have become better read, well-travelled, during which I would have done interesting stuff rather than just getting high or drunk with other backpackers. I would have become more health conscious, more interested in food and nutrition, and I would have become a better cook sooner. I'm still a shit cook, but maybe that would have happened sooner. I would have become more emotionally intelligent, and I would have been able to deal with the ups and downs of your 20s when you sort of figure out who you are in a healthier way, and probably grown more as a result. I would have had the potential to have been a far more interesting 20-something-year-old.
But it's funny though, isn't it? Because when you talk about yourself, Haim, I'm always like, he's a really interesting guy. When I first met you, like you're just a normal drinker when I first met you, I still thought, what an interesting bloke. He's done loads, he's achieved loads, he's just absolutely fascinating.
I think I know that I was interesting, but I could have been much more. I guess it was that.
Yes, and that's why it's good. Well, I think because knowing that makes you want to make up for that time, doesn't it? So it's like you're just knowing that maybe there was some lost years, which makes you even more enthusiastic about now changing everything.
I don't think anyone can look themselves in the mirror when they're still drinking, even if it's just moderately like I was, or heavily, or just a few drinks every now and then, and honestly think, I am at 100% of my potential here.
Yeah.
Even if you've achieved good things in your career, or you've done lots of great exercise challenges, or you've traveled to 30 countries, there's certainly an element of like, I could have done more.
Both of us at the beginning of this podcast said what our dreams would be and what we wanted to be when we're older. And now we are doing that. Both of us are fulfilling our dreams, exactly what we wanted to do, yet still neither of us go into the mirror in the morning and say you are fulfilling your full potential, even though we actually are. Yeah. So we still got to be self-deprecating in some form. Otherwise, no one wants to hang out with us, Haim, do they?
Fair.
I don't think they do anyway, but...
No, exactly.
Yeah.
What would you have done with those lost years?
I mean, I would have studied harder. I probably would have worked out what makes me tick, followed my heart, done more art, certainly. Learned who I was, what I was made of, instead of being everything for everyone else. I think that was my role, was just to be an entertainer. I would have absorbed my surroundings more, like when I was travelling. I would have done more, had more adventures rather than just seeing the faces of angry bouncers. I would have taken more care of myself sexually and mentally. I would have been kinder to my body. I do feel like I flushed 25 years of my life down the bog. It's not a nice feeling, but I guess at least I'm making up for it now. I actually realised whilst writing this episode, Haim, that booze took away my choices, my true choices, and that does still make me a little bit sad. I don't know. Has the past made me who I am? Yes. But would I go back and change a few things? Also, yes.
So how can we make sure that when we do go sober, we don't waste any more of that precious time? How can we make sure we are making the most of our sobriety?
Yeah, it's all very well saying sobriety is an opportunity to make up time, but how? How can we make sure we take positive action and don't just stay home scrolling through reels of dogs playing on pianos? May as well have carried on boozing if you're going to do that. So let's have a chat about creating a project. This is a really practical way of using the time you now have.
So firstly, and this sounds a bit boring, but it can be a game changer, audit your time.
Oh, just the word audit. The word audit, Hamish. It just makes me shut down.
Does it? Yeah, it sounds boring. It sounds like a spreadsheet.
Yeah, it's just auditing anything. How can that ever work for me?
If someone told me that there's some of their pastimes were auditing, I would run.
Yeah,
I would. But I also kind of am impressed by those people. I'm like, oh, I can see the benefit of that.
I need to be more like you, but I physically can't.
No, I reckon 30% of listeners don't know what auditing is. So this is what it is. Okay, so grab a pen and paper. This is what you're going to do. Or you could use ChatGPT or anything and be honest about how much time you were drinking. How much time did you spend recovering from that drinking? And then how long do you think you were spending fantasizing about drinking, like thinking about the very act? Was it every day or was it once a week? Turn it into a sum and then ask, what can I do with half of that? Right? So we're not even asking you to spend every single minute that you spent on drinking to do something productive. We're giving you 50% leeway and spend half of that time doing something more productive.
Or just pick one small project. I think that's all I could have managed in my early sobriety, even just 30 minutes a day. If you want to write or paint or learn coding or even learn auditing, which is what I probably need to do, bake, voice your podcast, whatever it is, pencil it in. I mean, I have to pencil in sex now, Hamish. I'm going to be honest with you. It's in the diary. Somebody told me to do it.
John's birthday.
Yeah. Yes, once a year. Yeah, repeat this. It's funny because it's true. But do pencil it in. Work out how long it will take. Couple of seconds, and then put it in your diary. Start slow, but block these sacred hours and make them yours. Right, I've come up with a term for people that are new to sober life, and I'm calling it booze transition rituals, Hamish. So after work, instead of a drink, go for a walk. It's just swapping things out. It's so swimple. Swimple?
Oh, it's swimple.
Go for a swimple as well if you want to. Or pop a
Is that a swim in a pool? What is swimple?
Yeah, of course. Okay, Didn't know what a swimple is, Hamish?
Swimple's nice. Sounds like one of Nellie's imaginary friends, a swimple.
Yeah, no, that's a wobble, but it probably could turn into a swimple if she's lucky. Go for a walk, journal, stretch. I don't like that sort of advice because there is never has there ever been a moment in my life where I've thought to myself, oh, I could probably fill this time with something more appropriate, like stretching? That just doesn't happen to me. Eating. Let's say eating.
Well, stretching, I think you can do whilst doing something else. If it's like watching Netflix whilst doing a stretch, actually just like doing nothing but stretching. I know that we're meant to do that. Never in my life have I ever done that.
It's like when you go to the physio and they say they give you all those exercises to do for the week, and then you go back a week later and say, oh, yes, I've done them all. I've done them every day.
Rolling up and down on a tennis ball on the floor.
Yeah, it never happens. You just go back there the next week and promise him that you have, and nothing's changed, and you have to keep paying out. Is stretching, is that when you hold a lint ball really far away from you and then like really as far as you can and then put it into your mouth? Is that count as stretching?
Throw it into your mouth with a straight arm. Yeah, that's it. That's the arm stretch.
I do a lot of stretching in that case.
Put one in between your big toe and your second toe and then see if you can get it into your mouth, not using your hands.
But what if it melted in between your big toe and your toe?
Then lucky you. Well, you've got a dog, no problem. Lucky Sandy. Careful with chocolate around dogs.
Chocolate and dogs is no. A dog licking chocolate from between your toes. Jeez. Train your brain to associate the wind down with life, not with the bottle. That's brilliant advice, even if I do say so myself.
Once one project is in the pipeline, it's time to celebrate all of your small wins. That's days without drinking, hours reclaimed, and momentum built. Acknowledge them. That way you don't get dragged down the shame spiral and you get to give yourself a nice little pat on the back.
Lastly, now this is huge, instead of snogging strangers or wasting time in a blackout talking to rocks, yes, I did do that once.
One of my favourite stories.
Surround yourself with timekeepers, people who value doing stuff, fun stuff, wholesome stuff that doesn't make you cringe the next day. A community that admires consistency, not chaos. People that like you for being you and not for being able to down a pint of snake bite and black in 2 seconds. I mean, I did think I was a bit of a legend in those days, Hamish, but it turns out
true.
I was just considered to be a total mess that probably needed lots of therapy, and all those people were, in fact, correct.
Well, it's now a good time for you to briefly tell us about, we're talking about doing fun stuff, what you did on Sunday morning.
I actually organised a rise and rave event. I've got a silent disco set, and everybody came along at 8 o'clock in the morning to this amazing venue by a little river. It was like a Balinese garden, and a DJ had made us an exclusive set, a Gold Coast DJ called CJ, and we danced to techno and everybody went crazy and it was absolutely perfect. We did a little meditation and we danced our socks off with no booze, no drugs. It was just pure, unadulterated, sober euphoria. There's nothing better than that, I can tell you. And you walk away from those events, those sober events, with no feelings afterwards. All I thought was, wasn't that fun? And that is something I never, ever felt. Like I always had good stories after my drinking adventures, but I could never have walked away from a night out and gone, oh, wasn't that fun? Because there was so much more to it. There was so much terrible behaviour that I had to deal with. And had I offended someone, and the abyss of the unknown that I couldn't have any answers to because I had no idea what I'd done. And now that's the difference, is that I know I'm not wasting time. I know I'm creating memories. And that's the difference between drinking and sobriety.
I love it. There's nothing I find more entertaining than watching a silent disco, one person dancing to clearly like the slower music channel while the person next to them is going for it on another like upbeat channel.
I do agree. Watching somebody who's listening to the Gabba House Techno Masters of Rotterdam compared to somebody who's listening to Let It Be by the Beatles would be highly amusing.
True. Okay, I think we're going to try and interject here with 2 really highbrow quotes. We've spoken about lint ball between feet, so now we're going to bring people back up to thinking that we're
great,
educational.
Yes.
So the first one's from George Eliot, highbrow. It's never too late to be what you might have been. Oh, it's inspiring stuff, isn't it?
Oh my God, that is so good. I used to fucking hate quotes.
It is too late for me.
Now.
I'm nearly 35 and footballers retire at 35. So, sorry, George. The chances of playing for Man U and Beckham's retired are minimal. But, for those of you not wanting to play football with Beckham, believe in George.
Yeah. Oh, it's a bit sad, Hamish. Anyway, do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better.
Nice.
Sobriety isn't about erasing the past. It's about building a new timeline. It's about reclaiming time you never realised was taken. It's about showing up fully in a life you choose, not one you stumble through.
If you feel a bit behind, that's good. That means there's room to move forward. You're not late, you're starting again. Use your clarity, your energy, your brain that isn't fogged by vodka. Build, grow, laugh, travel, create, love.
Can we pass the bucket, please?
It's a lot. It's a lot of
Are you going to get one of those
words.
signs? Yeah, you're going to get one of those wooden signs that you put on your desk at home that says build, grow, laugh, travel, create, and love. Have you got one of those?
I'm going to have them on post-it notes around the mirror so I see them every morning when I'm brushing my teeth.
You could get it on a neon light, Hamish. That would look nice, wouldn't it? And your
build, grow,
create,
love.
Travel,
Grow, love.
God, that is just not
What a
cool.
wanker I've become.
What a tosser. What a sober tosser you are. Here we go. God, this episode has been a minefield of quotes, so cheesy that I feel a bit of vomit rising in my throat. And guess what, Hame?
Go on.
Your drinking years, are you ready for this? You know I'm going to do a cheesy quote when I say that.
Yeah.
Your drinking years were a rehearsal. Sobriety is your main act.
Main act.
Yeah! Yes, it fucking well is! Here I am, and I'm bloody taking back the time I've lost.
Imagine the crowd at like a sober event. If you say the word sobriety is your main act and everyone gets off their feet, yeah,
come on.
I don't know if I
this.
love that crowd, if I hate that crowd, even though they're sober like me. I feel like, is that the sort of shit we cheer?
Yeah. Would you like me to lick some chocolate from between your toes?
No, I don't want that. No, thank you. Your
We
dog,
can do it.
yes. You, no, which says a lot about the way I feel about you.
Oh my God, can you imagine that? Can you imagine that, Hamish? It'd be like the worst night. It's like your nightmare
It
of
is,
looking
isn't it?
down.
You look down, you see Sandy's head, but then when Sandy looks up, it's your face on Sandy's head licking lint balls.
You are literally dreaming about that tonight. It's like a fucking nightmare. I would just want to add at the end of this episode, Hamish, I've really loved recording this today because I think I suffer a little bit from a certain level of shame about missing out on 25 years of my own life. And I can imagine it's how a lot of sober people feel. And actually that shame could possibly lead you back into drinking. It's a very heavy feeling. But I think it's important to remember how far you've come. Even if you're listening to this podcast today and you're in your early days of sobriety, you're making a choice, aren't you? You're making a choice by going, this is where I draw a line in the sand and this is where I change my life and make up for that time that is gone. Because you have the capability and the mindset now to do that. And sobriety is the best thing to give your life a bloody rocket ship boost up the bum to go, right, how do I want to live my life? And let me bloody choose and I'm going to go for it. I know that sounds like a bit of a wanky speech at the end, but I truly mean it. My life changed completely and I'd wasted so much time thinking that alcohol was the only thing that would ever identify who I was. And now here I am really living my dreams. And I know that we are self-deprecating a lot, Hamish, and we don't like talking about what we've created and all the things that we've done and all the lives that we've changed. But here we are and we're doing it. And that is because we both gave up drinking. And, you know, that is testament to myself and to you. And we get so many beautiful emails every single day from people saying thank you. And that's because we gave up alcohol and we are certainly making up for lost time.
I would also say, as lovely as it is for us to receive those emails, I hope that if you listening can go sober, you will receive those as well from your friends and family. Maybe not emails, but just people say it to your face at a party or a dinner, whatever. Just go, your sobriety has inspired me to change. Because it is a really strengthening and reaffirming part of your sobriety when it has a positive impact on others. So I hope you get to experience what Vic and I have got to experience over these last few years with regards to that. Right, I'm going to go clean my toes now because it's lint time, baby. You, me, Sandy, Liz. I'm going to get a lint ball between each toe and then line. Hey, we started by talking about John's birthday. My birthday is Christmas, and that's what I want as my gift. Is you, Liz, Sandy.
Stop.
Okay,
Stop. I think, Hamish, I've seen your toes actually. You could probably fit a lint ball. They're like hands, your toes.
They are. My feet are like children's hands.
Yeah, your toes are really, really long.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Yeah, you could definitely fit a lint ball in between each toe. Actually, can you try it? That's your challenge for the next day, 24 hours, is I want you to send me a photograph of a lint ball in between each of your toes. And I don't want any pictures of Liz eating them out of your toes.
I don't know if I can put that online. It would creep people out. I'll see if I can get 4 or maybe 3. I'll see how many I can do. It's a positive way to spend my afternoon, isn't it? I've got things to do around the house, but here I am photographing my feet with lint balls in them.
This is really making up for your drinking years, Hame. If you're questioning your relationship with booze, you're struggling to moderate, or your hangovers are causing anxiety, it might be time to reach out for some support.
Yeah, just talk to a mate about how you're feeling, contact a local doctor, find an AA or sobriety group. Vic's got one.
Yeah, just head to www.cuppa.community.
Remember, if you're questioning yourself, it might be time to seek support.
Even though this journey can be awkward, it is definitely worth it. And if you've enjoyed the Sober Awkward podcast, don't forget to review it, rate it, and share it with your mates.
Do they have to share it with their mates?
Yeah, of course they do. I'm not doing this for nothing, Hamish. Bloody hell.
How do they share it?
I don't know, just write it on the document.
Hey, I'm Paige DeSorbo, and I'm always thinking about underwear.
I'm Hannah Berner, and I'm also thinking about underwear, but I prefer full coverage. I like to call them my granny panties.
Actually, I never think about underwear. That's the magic of Tommy John.
Same. They're so light and so comfy, and if it's not comfortable, I'm not wearing it.
And the bras, soft, supportive, and actually breathable.
Yes, Lord knows the girls need to breathe. Also, I need my PJs to breathe and be buttery soft and stretchy enough for my dramatic tossing and turning at night. That's why I live in my Tommy John pajamas.
Plus, they're so cute because they fit perfectly.
Put yourself on to Tommy John.
Upgrade your drawer with Tommy John. Save 25% for a limited time at TommyJohn.com/comfort. See site for details.
You know what's faster than your paycheck? Literally everything. It's time to get your pay up to speed. With Earnin, you can access your pay as you work instead of waiting days and weeks for a paycheck. Get up to $150 a day with a max of $750 between paydays. No interest, no credit checks, and no mandatory fees. Because, hey, it's your money. Download the Earnin app now to get it and join millions of people making any day payday. That's EARNIN. Earnin is not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors available in select states. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details.
Skip the gym, not the workout. With Hydro, you get a full-body workout in just 20 minutes, hitting 86% of your muscles in one smooth, low-impact motion. And now there's the new Hydro Arc, Hydro's most advanced rower yet. Arc introduces Hydrometrics, tracking your power, endurance, and precision every time you row, so you can actually see your progress. Go to hydro.com and use code ROW to get $100 off any Hydro rower, including Arc. That's HYDROW.com, code ROW.
So, as you probably know, my comedy memoir, 1,000 Wasted Sundays, is officially out. All my magnificent fuck-uppery in one awkward hit. If you'd like to get your hands on a copy, it's now available from all good bookstores.
We always say all good bookstores, don't we?
Yeah.
Are there bad bookstores?
No, it's probably ones with moody sellers.
Oh, yeah, really depressed librarian folk.
Yes,
okay,
yeah.
Good.
So there are probably some, but we're only storing it in the good ones.
It's only made it into the goodies.
You can also get it from all good online retailers. The print version and ebook are out now, and the audiobook will be available in March. I've been writing my memoir for 5 years. It will make you laugh, cry and cringe, and hopefully inspire a few people to reconsider their relationship with booze. If you love the podcast, then I think you'll love the book, even if I do say so myself. Hamish has read it. What did you think?
I feel like I know a little bit too much about you now, to be honest, Vic. Look, I really loved it. It was hilarious and surprisingly moving, but I feel like I've seen you naked in a literary sense.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's worrying.
Yeah. From an emotional point of view, seriously,
It wobbled my teeny weeny wooden heart, Vic.
Okay.
My teeny little wooden heart.
Well, his wooden heart is broken. Anyway, so if you do manage to get your filthy mitts on a copy, please do me a favour and head to goodreads.com and give me a review. Doing that will help me get it out there to those that need a bit of sober support. So there you have it. My story, unwanted warts and all. Come and get awkward with me.
Not to be too demanding or anything, but seriously, go and buy it now.
Go and buy it. Go and buy it right now.
Yeah, don't just tell your friends. Buy it, and then buy your friends one or two.
Yeah, don't give them a copy. Buy it, yeah.
And you know what? Don't be careful where you store it. If you lose it, you can always buy another 5.
Yeah, buy another one.
Yeah.